I will try to cover Java in my way, basically. So at first, I want you to clear some very basic concept regarding compiler and JVM, what they are doing. So, um, let's start. I'm not directly going to Eclipse right now, just for clearing purpose. So let me show you some basic concept about compiler, and another thing is JVM. These are two different words in Java runtime environment. So at first we will learn our first topic will be in Java is incremental and decremental part. I have seen that lots of our batchmates are confused that how it is happening, increment and decrement. So for understanding this concept, we have to understand what compiler is doing and what JVM is doing. Okay. So guys, just have a look on what compiler is doing. We know that when we write our code, like in, suppose I have written int I equal to 5 in our editor 2. So what is happening after that? And when JVM is reading the code, when compiler is reading the code, and how they're working actually. So here, just two things is happening actually when I've written this code. When I was writing this code at that moment, compiler was reading that code. So actually, how you are interacting with compiler. So suppose you are a person, you have to communicate with a computer. Your computer doesn't understand. Your computer doesn't understand your language. Suppose you talk in English. So your computer doesn't understand English. So you need a third party to communicate with computer who knows English, either who knows some language which you know, but it is totally unable for learning object code for you or machine language for you because it is too tough. So you don't know object code. Either you, for communicating with computer, either you have to know object code or either you have to pass some orders to him. So that's why compiler concept arrived. It is compiler or assembler. So compiler is saying that, okay, I know object code, I know Java, I know Python or other programming language. So in which way you want to tell me? If you talk to me these languages, any of this, I can translate it to the computer or JVM. Here it is JVM for us, Java Virtual Machine, who is actually executing the code for us. So basically, we are now doing Java. So when we are writing code in Java, then he can translate it to JVM. Then he is performing our task, performing tasks. Then he is giving feedback with the object code to the compiler, and compiler is again translating it for us in Java language or printing in our console. So what is happening here? Two things. If you write anything wrong, which is not allowed in Java, I mean, if your language is wrong, compiler is actually rectifying it. So suppose, let me show you something. Okay, let me create a Java project. Mm, mm, mm. A project. I'm just going to create a package. So just mentoring.
Ivan, excuse me, are you sharing your screen?
Yeah.
I
Can't you see it?
I cannot see it. I don't know if others can see it or the only one
Sha-
that have problem.
Shaila, can you see my screen?
I can see it.
Ah,
Yes,
okay,
we
okay,
can
so,
see your screen.
okay, so I'm the
Okay,
only one. So let me fix it.
okay,
All right, thank you.
okay. So now, if I write anything wrong, like INTI, something like that, sorry, not INTI, just let's read I. So it is not allowed in Java. So if I write I5, it is not allowed in Java. So I'm not talking to the compiler right now with his own language. So he's not understanding what am I saying or what am I commanding or what am I writing. Actually, he's not performing task. He's not doing anything for us. He's just translating it. So he's not understanding my language. Then how he convert it to object code and how he will send the command to our computer. He cannot. So for that issue, we have to write things in Java language. So he have to understand first. Two things are happening here. Compiler have to understand first that one thing is I have to write perfectly in Java. Then he will translate to JVM. But still, he is not translating. When we execute our code, like when we will press here, so if I write in the correct format, if I press here or if I run the test, if we run as Java application, then what is happening in backend? In backend, then your compiler is translating it into the object code, and it is sending it to the Java JVM. JVM is performing your task. Suppose uh, this JVM is doing this task, and he is giving the feedback in our console. For now, I have just given him a command to perform a task. So he's just performing the task. He's not returning anything. If I wanted to print it, so he would do that. So now let's see how JVM is doing it. So we have understood compiler part. Do you have any confusion with compiler part right now? Anyone? You can tell me. Well, if not, let's continue with JVM part. So now how JVM is doing the work. So let me write two line of code for you. Basically, it is written in a class. I'm assuming that you have proper concept regarding class packages and all. That's why I'm not going through those topics. So just basically, it is inside a method which is called main, and main method and other methods are inside a class. So basically, what happens when you will run a code? When at first what JVM does, JVM enters in a class. He will search for the constructors here all over the class body outside the method. If he doesn't find any constructor, fine, it goes into the main method section. Now what is happening here? Suppose I have written two lines of code. Int I is equal to 5, then string j is equal to, suppose, shams. So what is happening here? So how JVM will read this code? As we say, at first it has gone searching for the constructors. So suppose we don't have any constructor. So after writing this code, INTI, what JVM is doing, actually, how he is reading it. So just you have to keep in mind that JVM doesn't read like us. JVM doesn't read like you and me. How he reads? He reads from top to bottom and left to right, like a train. So if you consider it as a train, and if it goes like from left to right, so at first you will see this line, int. So after watching the data type, whatever you write here, after watching the data type, what it does at first, he will create in Java memory. There is a stack and heap memory. If you don't know, I'll make you understand. Just let's suppose there is a memory in your class, in your method. There is a Java memory is created, separate Java memory is created for your method, and when he's watching the int, I'm just reading like JVM right now for you guys. Suppose I'm JVM. At first I'm watching int. What am I doing? What is this command for me? I have to create a box directly. I haven't seen anything. I've just seen int. I have to create a box who the box data type is integer. So this is a box in my Java memory. This is a storage. This is just a capacity. And when I've seen this data type integer, I've created an integer box. I can only input integer values in this box, and by default there is a value. I have put a value that is 0. That is JVM is doing after watching this int thing. Then when I've written I have understood, I am as a JVM understanding that, okay, I have to put the name of the box as I. So that's called my variable, right? Variable. Fine. Then what do I have to do? Then I'm watching this operator. What is this? So if you think it is equal, it is not equal. Let me clear it up to you. There are some kind of operators that is this is called assignment operators. Assignment operators. Another thing is there plus plus. Don't think it like it is a different thing. This is operator, this is another operator, this is called incremental operator, and this is decremental operator. So these are some kind of common operators that we already know. But this is with every operator sign, with every like with assignment operator, with plus plus, with minus minus, I mean incremental or decremental command, we are commanding JVM. So when he sees this assignment operator, that means JVM is understanding that I'm commanding him, or the writer or the editor who is writing this code, he's commanding me to assign something inside the box. But I have already assigned 0 as a default value because we know that the default value of integer is 0. So it is already 0 is there. So when I'm telling him 5, when I'm reading 5, okay, then I'm directly removing it. Like I'm just removing it. I'm writing 5 here. So new value is 5. I'm not finished yet. So he will continue reading. Then when he sees that statement is closed, that means, okay, this line is covered up. Fine. Then, as usual, with Java rules, he will go to the next line, top to bottom. So then he is watching string. He won't see full string j equal to sums. He's not gonna see the full thing. So he's watching his first string. Then what we will do? As usual, he's watching a data type. He'll create a box. And this box is string type box, right? Then he will see j. Then he will put the value j. and the default value was null for it. Then there is the assignment operator. Suppose putting shams here, so then he will cut it and he will put new value here, shams. So this is the way how JVM is working. So now suppose here I haven't write int right now after this code. I've just written 7. What will happen? Can anybody tell me? Celia, can you see my screen right now?
So yeah, I can see. What's your question?
My question is, if I write this code right now, what is going to happen? Just I is equal to 7. I have int I is equal to 5. I had a value 5 stored in I. And now I haven't written any data type here. I'm just writing I equal to 7. What will gonna happen? What is gonna happen? So actually the thing is, let me clear it up to you. So here, as I haven't mentioned any data type, as usual JVM is coming here, he will see I. He's watching that I haven't mentioned any data type, that immediately he's searching for the box that I've created in Java, that is I. Fine, he's going there. And here he's saying that I'm commanding him again to assign something newly. So a box, a simple Java box or simple Java variable cannot store multiple values. We know that. So now my new value is 7. He is crossing up, he's cutting up this 5 thing and he's putting 7 here. Okay, let me show you it in Eclipse what I've done. At first I have put the value 5, then I've written string is equal to even or shams, whatever it is. Then I'm writing I equal to 7. Nice. So now what is happening with this line? With this line, he's just changing the value. Okay, sorry. Okay, just give me a moment.
I believe it will output even like 7 times.
It will, I mean, it is I.
Yeah.
It is I. So it is 5. So now if I want to print the value here of I, what will be the value?
Uh, I
7 or 5? Okay. Try to understand the concept again if you don't understand it. When I've created integer and written integer at first, he had created a box. When I put the variable name I, he had named the box as I. Let me show you again. When this is an int, he is creating the box. He's putting a default value. He is the box is the data type of the box is integer. Okay. Then he's when he's watching I, he's putting the variable name I. Then when he's watching assignment operator, he's directly determining himself that I'm going to assign something. Then when he sees 5, I mean JVM says 5, then he's crossing it up and writing 5 here. So in that case, after here, if I want to print the value of I, what will be the value? The value will be 5. Let's try it out at first. So if I want to do that after putting the value here, after trying to get the value of I here, now I'm just assuring up that if it is storing 5 in that particular box or not. So let's run it. So it is 5. We are good till now. Now suppose, as I told already that, okay, after this command, sorry, not the one, after this command, integer I is equal to 7. After this command, suppose, what is happening? As I already mentioned, there was a box, which is I, and there I have put the value, present value is this right now. So when I'm giving command I equal to 7, that means Java is understanding that there is no data type at first. before there is no data type, that means he's confirmed that I don't have to create a new box right now. When I will write a data type, I will create a box. So then he see the variable name. So when he sees the variable name, what he does, he goes to the I box. So this is my I box, and there he is watching now that assignment operator. That means I want him to assign something in that box. Then he sees 7. Then what do you think? Okay, so new value will be 7. He cross it up, he put the value 7 here. So he put the value 7 here. So the new value is 7. You got my point. So now, how do I know he has replaced the value? So let's print the same thing, not here. Let's print the same thing here. As we know, Java or JVM is reading top to bottom. Now the new value, after changing the value, new value should be it. 7. So let's print it out. So see, this is 7. The value is replaced right now. The value has been changed. So whenever we are doing Java, we have to think like JVM, how JVM is working. Then it will be easier for you guys. So any question regarding this thing that was so important for my further topics? So any question how JVM is working? If not, let's move forward.